All right, y'all. Before we dive in, a quick heads up.
This show is raw, real, and definitely not rated PG.
We're talking about adult themes, sexual content, and the kind of stuff you probably don't want blasting through your speakers at work or around your kids.
So grab some headphones, pour your drink of choice, and get comfy.
Oh, and just so we're clear, we are not licensed therapists, counselors, or sex coaches. Sex coaches,
Sex coaches.
not sex couches.
We're just a couple of people sharing our lives experiences and sexy adventures and ethical non-monogamy. So with that, pull up a chair and enjoy the show.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Beyond Monogamy. I'm Adam.
And I'm Pris.
And today, normally my beautiful wife is the one who introduces the show topic, but she has no idea what we are doing. I just barely told her. If you've been to our website, there is the Beyond Monogamy Confessional. It is 100% anonymous, 100% anonymous. And we don't even know, like, we can't even see if there's an email attached to it or whatever. And so when we went live with this, we got a few stories that came up, and I wanted to read them on the air and discuss them. Because we got a couple that we can talk about here, and I really love it when our listeners interact, and we're just gonna do this. We're just gonna do this, guys. You know what I'm saying? So let's do this. We're gonna get right into it. Like I said, for those who are just tuning in, we have on our website 100% anonymous Beyond Monogamy Confessional, where you can leave your stories, your questions, anything that you want to talk about lifestyle related. If you want to say anything about our podcast, whatever, it's there for you. And so here's the very first one that we got. This one says, "Hey, yo, let's dive in. Been debating on leaving the lifestyle community since participation has been at an all-time low ever since we joined the community. Such great people, but it's definitely a different crowd than expected. We have met plenty of great people and hope to stay friends with them, and we can just play outside of the community like we did before. It's been hard to find couples we are both attracted to, and singles are far from available. Plus, finding mutual attraction interest-wise from the other couples is always lopsided. Hopefully this feeling will pass, but if not, then it has been fun getting to experience something different for a bit." What do you think about that, honey?
I think, why not? I mean, you're already playing outside of the community like you've done before. And if it's hard for you to find couples that you're both attracted to, I think you're going in there with that kind of mentality that it's going to be hard for you. If you let things just happen organically, you probably wouldn't have this message. So I think you're probably doing something right, backing away for a little bit. I think that's
I mean, really, there's no wrong way to do this.
yeah, there really isn't. And so like I can say, "Oh, you're doing a good job," and I can say, that's really a bad idea."
Yeah, I mean,
It's
it's person to person, and understand that the decision that you're making, whatever the decision may be, it's if you're happy with the decision, then it's the right decision. Now, I will say a couple of things just to think about in passing. I don't know how long you've been in the lifestyle. For us, we've been in for 14 years. Now, I will say this. The first few years, all I was trying to do was get experiences. I wasn't really searching for friendship. I wasn't really searching for connections. I was just trying to get my experiences in. And so when I finally did get my experiences in, that's when I realized a lot of my experiences that I had would have been a lot better with people that I actually liked and connected with. Now, it took me a long time to actually find people that I could like and connect with. And I mean years. And that's for a couple of different reasons. One, I didn't know really where to find them. There was a lot of different places, and frankly, I am cheap and I don't like to pay for them. So that was a difficulty for me. Where we found a great community was in Facebook communities, Facebook groups, but we also found that SDC.com has a great communities in different locales. And so that's always a great way of meeting people as well. I think the big thing is, don't have expectations. Meet who you want and see if there's any kind of vibe. Go out on dates and meet up with people for dinner or for drinks or whatever, and get an idea of who they are. And if it, by the third conversation or by even the third date, if there's just no vibe or even before that, then say, I'm sorry, but this isn't for us, and move on to the next one. You can really, I know it takes a lot, but you can really kind of make your way through it. And eventually you will find people that mesh up with you.
Yep.
Like I said, we've been in this for 14 years, and it's probably been the last 4 that I have started finding people that
Yeah.
mesh with me.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was because of me. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know where to find it. And I also didn't know how to properly socialize with these people. I didn't know how to put myself out there. I didn't know
Yeah.
that I had to be 100% open about what I wanted and what our dynamic was. There's just a lot of moving parts to it.
And it looks like I'm assuming they play together because they said they said that they've had couples, that it's hard to find couples in the lifestyle.
And singles are far from
Yeah.
available.
Yeah. So it looks like you already have your little group there that they played with people before.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I would assume that maybe they've had 1 or 2 that
Mhm.
that have gone well. It really depends on what you're looking for. I used to always want a big circle. I always wanted to have a big circle of people. I always wanted to have a lot of friends and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And now I don't. I don't want a big circle. I
Yeah.
want a small circle. And so I have learned to kind of wean away some that I don't feel are fully there for me or for us. Maybe they're half-hearted, maybe they're just not real connections.
Yeah.
And I've tried to kind of wean away from that. You look for red flags and you just kind of go, okay, that's not for me. I'm good. And so, yeah, that's really the tough part with that. Now, I do have a friend of mine, my buddy, who says, I'm struggling on saying no to people. So how is your take? Now, I've heard you answer this before. I'd really love for you to give your thoughts on this. When it comes to saying no to other people in the lifestyle who are interested in you.
I'm not going to lie to you. I get that almost every day.
Yeah.
I get somebody who is very interested, but I'm not interested in them. And I tell them, I said, it's very flattering. I really appreciate it. Thank you for reaching out, but I am just looking for friends right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're all adults, and I understand the fear of rejection, because I actually have the fear of rejection when it comes to women. I do not have that fear of rejection when it comes to men. So when it comes to women, not every woman is going to like me. And so that's where that comes in for me.
Yeah.
But I think if you're just very honest and upfront, don't ghost, because we did that in the past. We were those notorious people. Do not ghost people. I am very upfront. If Adam's like, no, I'm not feeling it, I'll be the one to go tell them, we're just not feeling it. There's no vibe.
Yeah, that's a rarity, though. It's usually you're the one that's not feeling it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's been times where
No, I said usually.
Yeah.
Usually. You are the one that's not feeling.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's been a time or two, but for the most
Yeah.
part, when it's come between us two, you are the more selective person.
I am very
And so
selective.
oftentimes we are put in this situation where, as a couple, we're talking to another couple and I'm vibing with them, but you're not.
'Cause it
And
has to
so
be
in a situation like that,
and it has to be vibe and attraction. I have to be attracted to you. Like, it can't just be you're intelligent. Like, there's gonna have to be aspects of that attraction. So that's why the super selectiveness, because you have to have both.
yeah, I mean, you have to have both. And see, here's something that Pris has realized is that you can be a friend to somebody and not have to have sex with them.
I just realized that.
You realized that recently.
Maybe I thought I've always known that.
No.
No.
No, we've had that conversation probably about a year and a half ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. So for the longest time,
Yeah.
you didn't, if somebody was attracted to you, you would, and you were not attracted to them, you wouldn't even consider them as a friend. Like, you wouldn't want to hang out with them because you knew that they wanted to have sex with you, and you didn't want to lead them on.
And it gets very pushy. And now it does not get like that. Now I can tell my friends, yeah, no, we're just friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you become friends with somebody, you get to know them a little bit better. Actually, you get to know them a lot better. And sometimes you
It
get it
changes
changes their
the
attraction.
dynamic.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
changes their
Yeah,
which
yeah, you're
is
right.
pretty cool.
Mm.
Yeah, so, for me, talking to my buddy who had that question, I've had that before. I'm not good at saying no.
No.
I am not good at saying no. Frankly, I don't like to hurt feelings. I don't like to come off, rude, but at the same time, I'm not doing them a good service by not being uh, openly upfront with how I'm feeling
And
about that.
yeah, and I think women, when you are not upfront about it, um, I think women take the cue of that you are interested, even when you're not interested,
It can be misconstrued.
because you still are their friends and you're still very charming and you still give off the flirty vibes. And so I don't think they understand sometimes that back
Yeah.
and forth.
Yeah. Well, I'm when I'm friends with both women and men, I try to act the same with both of them. But I am overly friendly with both men and women, and women can misconstrue that as flirty or leading on. So yeah, I really do think that it is important to be upfront and honest. If you are not interested, I think that it needs to be said, but I am also a big believer in I can be not interested in the beginning and I can be your friend and that can change. And so that's always a tough one. I think it's good to be fully honest with your feelings, and if you say, "Well, I'm not fully feeling this vibe between us, so it would be a no right now, but I would like to continue being your friend so I can get to know you better," and that could change,
Hmm.
you know? And if you can say something like that, I think that it would be accepted pretty well. I think it might go over well for most people. I know if somebody told me that, I'd be like, "Okay, I can I can adhere to that. I get that." The big thing that I've always struggled with is when us as a couple, we meet another couple and I'm vibing with them but you're not, or you're vibing with them and but I'm not. And so it's one of us that it's a no, and it's one of us that it's a yes. When it's something like that, obviously, if one of us is a no, then it's going to be a no for the couple.
Right.
Now, we do, depending on the person, we do play separately now. So there are times where Pris is not interested, but she's like, "Hey, if you're interested, and you want to have fun with them, by all means, go ahead."
Hmm.
But previous to that, if your partner says no, then it's a no, whether you want to or not.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
just simple as that. I mean, if you want to play with somebody and your partner doesn't, then you can either tell your partner, "Hey, I really do want to. Is there any way that I can do this?" Or you can just say, "Yeah, no, it's not gonna the vibe's not 100% there." So,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's just one of those things that it's the heavy part of this. And it can apply to vanilla world as well for people who are just dating, because there's a lot of people who don't know how to say no.
Yeah.
And I know when we were poly and I was going through these different dating apps and stuff like that, I was trying to hit up all these different connections. And I remember some people telling me no in a horribly rude way and just really ugly about it. And I remember thinking, wow, that just really wasn't necessary. And I think that really made me skittish on telling people no
Hmm.
because I remember how I felt. But honestly, honesty is everything.
Yeah.
And even if it's sour at the beginning, they'll appreciate the honesty in the long run.
Hmm.
So that really takes care of that. Now, going into this second one here, there's a second confession that came in. I'm going to read it to you here. "I am exploring more of what I need." And in parentheses, it says, "I need to explore more of the BDSM lifestyle." End parentheses. "And my husband is helping me through the process. I finally found one guy that is very knowledgeable and experienced in the areas of what I am looking for. And I like his vibe so much that I approve and requested my husband to approve him as a play partner for me. My husband agreed, and now the guy said he is no longer playing and he hung up his tools, which doesn't make sense because a few days before he agreed to be my play partner until he moves away. I am deeply heartbroken over this because it is so hard for me to vibe and approach anyone, and the one time I do, I get rejected and it hurts so much. My fear of rejection is the reason I let my husband take the lead in all things swinging. Yes, I have been offered to have a scene with others, but I can't seem to be comfortable with anyone except this one guy." What do you think about that? That is a
That's a
very different
different
one.
one. I mean,
And there's a few different spots that catch my attention. One, the BDSM lifestyle is a very, I don't want to say it's a very different lifestyle, but there are certain things in the BDSM lifestyle, like obviously trust is big for any play partner. But in the BDSM lifestyle, trust is everything, because you are most likely going to be in a vulnerable position. If you've seen any scenes play out in the BDSM world, anybody, it takes a lot of vulnerability. You really have to trust the
Yeah.
person who's in control of all of that. So I wouldn't think it's that easy to find somebody that you really vibe, that you really mesh with, that you really trust to be vulnerable with. And we've
Yeah.
had that talk before, because
Yes.
I'm interested in trying things that I've never done before, and that includes the BDSM lifestyle. I don't know, like a lot of it really revolves around trust issues for me, because I don't want to be blindfolded if you're not there to make sure that I'm safe.
Oh,
I don't want somebody at the helm with me tied up.
no.
Like if I'm tied up, and you're not there, like there's just a lot to unpackage there. And, that right there is the big one for me. So finding that you feel is very knowledgeable and experienced in those areas, and liking the vibe and feeling great about it,
Yeah.
that is everything. But then once you feel safe with this person, for them to just out of nowhere say, yeah, sorry, I'm not doing this.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably more to that on their end, but I'm so sorry. Like, I'm sorry that you had to do that because that sucks.
Well, see, and that's the thing is, with the communication, I mean, I don't know exactly what was communicated. I
Hmm.
don't know if it was simply that, or if there was more to it than that. But I would have hoped that if he wasn't going to play anymore and he hung up his tools like he said he is, that he would give a proper explanation as to why. To flip-flop back and forth and say, yes, I'm all about this, and then to immediately go the other way as soon as you say, let's do this,
Yeah.
is kind of a red flag. And so with that, you really kind of have to ask yourself, okay, what was the situation here?
Hmm.
What just happened?
Exactly.
I don't really quite understand that. And so either he was not on the up and up, and it was a situation, and maybe it was just, or there could be a number of things that could have come up that were unethical, but there could have been a number of things that could have come up that were ethical. And the problem is that it needs to be communicated 100%.
Mhm.
Without that, I mean, you're left sitting there going, what the hell? And you feel that rejection.
Yeah.
And rejection sucks.
Yes.
And, it's funny is that you were just saying how you're afraid of rejection for women, but you're not afraid of rejection for men.
No,
Why is that? Because they're easy to get.
because men are easy to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's so funny. Yeah, because someone just messaged me on another note. Someone just messaged me and said, it is so hard for me to find, and I don't know if this person listens to our show or not, but they said, it is so hard for me to find a partner, somebody to come over when I need it, like that. And she's like, why? I don't know why it's so hard. And I was like, yeah, if you're being selective, it's not hard.
If you're being selective, it's not hard to find
If you're,
somebody.
I'm sorry, if you're not being selective, it's not hard. If you're being
Yeah.
selective, it's very hard.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's any number of reasons why. I mean, it can come down from physical to personal,
Yeah.
and how they act.
Yeah. But yeah, no, men are easy.
Than women. They're easier than women
For me,
as far as
and I'm not saying, oh, I'm so hot. I have a lot of guy friends that if I need somebody, I can reach out to.
What's funny was I remember for the several years when we were in the lifestyle, and I'm sure that there are a lot of couples that can relate to this. Sometimes you have these moments where it's just like, I need somebody over right now. You need to invite somebody over right now. Like it could be a Friday night, you got the house by yourself, and it's the two of y'all, and y'all are getting it on, and y'all are talking dirty, and it's like, we could invite somebody over. And it's like, yes, get somebody over right now. And of course, it's those times that you can't find anybody.
Yeah.
Nobody's available at all. And then, of course, you get off, and then it's like, yeah, no, I don't want anybody to come over at all. What were we talking about? Because there's
Our
something.
typical weekend.
Yeah, because there's something called horny brain. It's a thing.
Yeah.
It gets you all gray and muddled up, and you're not thinking right because you're in horny brain.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, get them over here. Get them over here
That
right
is
now.
very true.
This past weekend, we attended a hotel takeover.
We did.
And we were in this hotel from Friday afternoon till Sunday morning.
Yes.
And I'm talking, this is a hotel of fully naked people. Everybody's in lingerie. Everybody is feeling the vibe. Everybody's got their own hotel rooms. Like, you can, if you wanted to, you could go from room to room to room to room and just play. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, we had several opportunities
Yes.
from Friday to Sunday to play with a numerous amount of people.
Yeah.
And with that, we did not.
No.
We did not play with a single person. Now,
No.
that wasn't by choice. I guess it was kind of by choice. We had to do a live show on Saturday. And so we were there Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And Friday night, all I kept thinking about was the show and how we were going to put it together. This was our first live show, all this stuff. And so I couldn't stop thinking about that stuff. And so it was really hard to mesh into the vibe of the party.
Okay.
So eventually we went up to the room, probably about 10:30.
Mm-hmm.
And amazingly enough, we crashed out, and we crashed out very quickly.
We're very busy people.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it's just hard for us. Like when we have alone time, it's just for us to just relax.
And we've been doing a lot of traveling, and honestly, we had the hotel room, and it was like, oh my gosh, everybody was downstairs. We were on the third floor, and we were enjoying some quiet time, and we slept great. So, and that was another reason was I didn't want to stay up late. Because I wanted to be prepared for the show, which was on Saturday around noon.
Yeah,
so we get up and
Mhm.
we do our regular Saturday routine. We go get coffee, we go get breakfast, and I start preparing for the show and I
Mhm.
start setting up everything. Now, unfortunately, that show was going to air on Sunday and there was technical difficulties and we only got video. We did not get audio.
Yeah.
So that show is now not going to be airing, and it was only for the people that were there in the
Which
room,
was fun.
which was great. We had a
I
great
loved it.
turnout. We had
Yeah.
a wonderful turnout, and the people in that room got to enjoy a live show that unfortunately nobody else will be able to hear. But here's the other part. So I was looking forward to getting the show done so that I can kind of take off my pants, so to speak, and enjoy the takeover. But I was so exhausted from dealing with the podcast and doing everything that we had to do for this live show. I was worn out. And I'm pretty sure you were too.
Yeah. I mean, we were there. We did go downstairs for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. We were
And
part of the areas and
Yeah.
we had talked. We had
napped.
talked several times while we were having sex in our room
Yes.
about, oh, so and so wants to join us and there's this and there's that. And all we got to do is call them. But that's horny brain talking. Horny
Yeah.
brain was talking. And then once horny brain ejected,
Yeah.
that was it.
That was it.
That was it. And we were like, I just want to go to sleep now.
Oh.
I'm done.
Nice.
Yeah, it was nice. It was actually some much needed time to ourselves. But, when it comes to stuff like that, people feel like if you go to a house party, if you go to a hotel takeover, stuff like that, that you feel like you're obliged to play with others.
Yeah, some people do. Some
And
people feel that.
you don't
Yeah.
have to.
No.
And that's something that a lot of people have to realize. You don't
Yeah.
have to do anything.
Nope.
If you want to come in and you want to just watch people, that is totally fine.
That's okay.
If you want to just be there for the ambiance, that's cool. That's what's great about this community is you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. And if horny brain ejects and you're like, yeah, no, I'm gonna go to bed. Well, okay. That doesn't make you any less a member of this community. You know what I'm saying? And that I think is a big thing for a lot of people that they just feel obliged. They feel like they have to.
Yeah.
And you don't have to. You really don't have to.
No.
So yeah, I'm glad that we got to discuss these confessions that came in. Look at this. So one just came in.
Is this one?
This is one that just came in apparently. Okay. Because I was like looking at it and I was like, wait a second, that wasn't there. So I'm going to read this for you because it just came in. We met up with a lovely, attractive couple the first year into our journey into the lifestyle. I, the female, met up with the other wife first for a casual lunch on a Friday afternoon. We really connected to the point that she told me their real names and showed me her art on Facebook. We agreed to introduce the men at an LS meet and greet that night, which went well. All four of us got together for lunch the next day. We were stunned when we realized we had sat there talking for 3 hours. It was obvious we all had connections, so our next meeting was a play date that also went well. Our next get together was another friend date between myself and the wife. I really felt like I had made a new friend. During this lunch date, she commented on how much she loved my leggings. I had an extra pair, so I thought to send them to her. We didn't live in the same town. I looked up their address as the wife had given me their real names, but then I thought I'd better ask first as I didn't want to come off creepy. I was chatting privately with her hubby that night, and I mentioned wanting to send the wife the leggings. That's when I got put in my place. He said, "We don't mix our vanilla life and our lifestyle life." Wow. Okay, then. I felt like I'm good enough to fuck because of the way we met. That's it. I wasn't proposing a family barbecue. I just wanted to surprise her with a $10 pair of fun leggings. I wanted to tell him, dude, I already have your address. If I was going to out you, I could. But I said nothing. Despite him pursuing me, we never played. My point is this. Some people are looking for friends to integrate into their vanilla life, and others never want the two to meet. This is something to know before diving in. I think that this was an excellent story, an excellent submission,
Throw down.
because that's really
Oh, yeah. No, that's
that's a really that's just a great point.
that's a great point, and I get it. I get where he was coming from. You are right. Like, dude, come on now.
It's an overreaction.
It's an overreact. I mean, I think that's an overreaction, and I would have never played with him again.
It's a
so-
strong overreaction, and
so,
frankly,
yeah.
that kind of reaction would turn me off immediately.
Oh, yeah.
And I would be
Yeah.
like, okay, dude, no sex
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And because, like, what are you mixing your vanilla? The male? The male? Is someone
yeah,
gonna know? Like,
I don't see how that would be mixing vanilla and lifestyle.
yeah, that's silly.
And so, like I said, that reaction from him just feels overdone. Not to say that he's wrong. I mean, maybe that's their thing.
And maybe something has happened to them that's their thing now. But
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people, and it's a great point to make in the fact that there are a lot of people who are very discreet. Of course,
Yes.
if you spent time with the wife and y'all really got close to each other, if they were that discreet, I would figure that would have been mentioned by her.
It should have been, yeah.
Now, one thing,
And I would have really gone to the wife and been like, "Hey, I have a
well, yeah, but
surprise
she
for
was
you."
trying to. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. If you say, "Well, I have a surprise for you, but I don't want to tell you what it is. Can I send this to you?"
Yeah.
That would have been
And she
better.
probably would have been a little bit nicer about it. But yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You know, I think that's this is a really good point, and I'm really, really glad that my buddy hippie chick went ahead and submitted that, because it is really, really a great point.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of people in this lifestyle that they don't mix the two, and they really try and keep them separate. There are a lot of people in the lifestyle who don't even consider themselves lifestylers.
Wait, there's even people in the lifestyle that don't even they will not play or talk to anybody in their hometown.
Oh yeah, we know some of them.
So
Yeah.
totally get
you know,
it.
so everybody's on their own discretionary level. Was this an overreaction? Totes. Absolutely. Overreaction. But for him, he probably didn't think so. But realistically, we all have to consider that whenever we talk to other people, that's reactive right there. The way he reacted was reactive. It was immediate. It was kind of rough and unnecessary. And I think that if he wanted to, he could have explained his situation a little bit better, where it didn't have to be a reaction like that. And so there's just so many things at play on that one. I appreciate that quip, that story, because I think there's a lot to be had from that one.
Yeah, for sure.
So with that takes care of our confessionals. Just a reminder to you guys out there, we have the confessional. We have this ability that you can give us. Now, I said who that last one was because that's a friend of mine who she outed herself on my social media. That was her story. But like I said, I don't know, neither one of us know the stories, who they belong to, that sort of thing. We love the fact that people feel that this is a safe space, that they can give us our interactions in those stories. We love that. And so if you want to take part in that, if you want to talk to us and not be named, but you want to tell us everything that you can you can do so at our website, and we'll give that to you in just a minute. But with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. We're going to say thanks for hanging with us for this week's Quickie,
Yes. Thank
all
you.
about the confessionals. If you loved it, make sure to like, subscribe, and share, and leave us a review because it seriously helps us grow and it keeps the conversation going.
And you can find everything Beyond Monogamy at www.beyond-monogamy.com, including our Beyond Monogamy Confessional that he has mentioned, and all our blog posts, merch, and all the juicy extras.
Absolutely. And don't forget to check out our events tab on that same website for details on the upcoming Beyond Monogamy events, like the upcoming Beyond Monogamy Meet and Greet at Club Eden, San Antonio, this Saturday, December 13th at 9 p.m.
Yes.
For those of you who would like to hang out with us and you're in the San Antonio area or you're planning on being in the San Antonio area, come on down and see us. We're going to be there. We're going to have a couch. We're going to be hanging out with a lot of people. Shout out to our friends Nicole and Isaac with the Pineapple House, Texas from Houston. We did a show with them and they are actually going to be out there with us, celebrating with us. And we have several other people coming. We're actually going to be shooting a show out there before the club opens.
Yes.
So that's going to be a lot of fun. So if you can make it because we're going to
be there. Be square.
That's right.
We're also streaming every Thursday on fullswapradio.com at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. Central. So tune in and show us some love there. And if you want to help us grow this community, join our Patreon at patreon.com/Beyond Monogamy with Adam Pris. That's where you'll get all the early access, behind the scene moments, and after hours content. All right. So guys, we got a gift from the Happy Swinger, and I'm going to show everything that I'm not going to be able to show everything that we got, but this lamp right here, they made this and they customized it to the colors that we wanted. So it was a surprise for my Boo Bear.
Very
It
cool.
has an orange little top and it's blue down here, and it has a light in there. But they also made us a door that we forgot to use at the takeover. And they also make like keychains and stuff like that. But we're going to share all of their information on our links, and I'll also share it on all of our social medias. But if you want to order one of these guys, let me tell you, it is so worth it.
Yeah. The Happy Swinger on TikTok.
Yes.
That's where we linked up with them. The Happy Swinger, they do amazing work. I follow them as well, and I've seen a lot of their work. I am thrilled that we were able to get the stuff that we get. They sent us a whole package of really cool stuff. They sent, that's going to sound funny, a dick whistle.
Yes.
It's a penis whistle. And that was hilarious. But there was a lot of different things that they sent us that they create themselves. And we definitely wanted to give them a shout out because they do incredible work. This is incredible.
This is incredible. Like the detail on this thing is amazing, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So to our friends, the Happy Swingers, we want to say thank you. I want to say thank you because I know my love is the one that was setting this up. I personally would like to say thank you to you guys. We really appreciate all the love and support just on the podcast end of it. I know that you guys share a lot of our clips and things like that, but also for this, I love this. I think this is a great addition to our set. So thank you to the Happy Swinger. And I'm just going to throw this out there for everybody who's in this lifestyle world. If you make things that are specific to this lifestyle, I want you to contact us. And if you can, send what you can, and we will focus it on the show. We'll have it on the show. We love to show off what our community members can do because we believe in this community. We love this community, and we love to share everything that we can with everybody. So shout out to the Happy Swinger. Thank you so much for that. We appreciate you. Thank you for listening. And we will see you guys next week.
Bye.